So on the way back from Johnstown to Ohio, I had spotted this Eliza Furnace thing on Google Maps and thought, what the heck? Let's just go ahead and stop by and see what this thing looks like. And besides that, there's a hiking and biking trail right here with a rest stop for the trail, so we can take care of our rest needs at the same time. From 1846 to 1849, so this structure has been around for a while. And you can see what they did. This is an iron ore area as well as a coal strip mine area, so everything they needed for all these furnaces dotted around this part of Pennsylvania was all right here. And they hauled pig iron to Pittsburgh. Pretty much talks about the demise right there. And over here, wait for it, there it is. We'll go down and get a little closer. this is a well-preserved blast furnace, although most of it's still not here, as you can see from those pictures. Whereas the heat exchanger is still at the top, most of it anyway. Somewhere in the whole assembly there was some bellows that put air into the furnace, just like a blacksmith forge, and that's what raised the temperature. The heat exchanger was used to preheat that air to help keep the temperature up. The closer we get, the bigger this thing becomes. So the grounds here at this furnace are very well kept up, although I don't know if it's a state parks thing or what. They got some gate here so you can't get in here and get yourself in trouble, but this might be where the furnace was tapped and the iron ore came out. It seemed like a little small hole. Let's see what we have over here. Oh, there's a big pipe. Look at that. And back here in the woods, there is some kind of trail from long ago where something would have been delivered. So what is this pipe? Looks like from wherever it goes up to the heat exchanger. Must have had something to do with the air going in. When I get back, I'll look it up and make a little note on the video. If you can hear it, there's a stream right over there, close by to the furnace. And here's a much bigger opening. Maybe your tax dollars go to maintaining the grounds here. Pretty cool. You just don't get a taste of how big this thing is until you get close to it, and a lot of the stuff that was on the top is gone because the heat exchanger was enclosed in brick also. So as we're leaving Eliza Furnace to make our way back to Ohio, and we're crossing the bridge, and we take a look off to the right, and we see what looks like water shooting up out of the middle of the creek, right from the creek bed. And of course, whenever you need to stop in the middle of the road and try to figure out something or take a picture, there's always that guy in the big, gigantic pickup truck right behind you with the giant tires that wants to run over you. So we didn't even have a chance to snap a picture of it, so taking a couple of shots off of Google satellite view. And so once we got back, we wanted to try to figure out what that was all about. Well, when you look into something like that, water shooting out of a creek bed, it opens up the whole history of coal mining in this area of Pennsylvania. As you saw on the sign, Vittendale is an old company coal mining town, and there's still an active coal mine just to the east of town there. But in this particular area and this creek, which is called the Blacklick Creek, there's a lot of mine runoff from piles of old mine tailings that are stacked along the creek, and abandoned mines that have water in them that have flooded out the force water into the creek. And the locals in the area don't even remember a time when the Blacklick Creek didn't run orange. It didn't look too orange when we were there, but you could see that there was a lot of pollution in the creek. But anyway, Vintondale Mine number 6, when it filled up with water, it increased the hydraulic pressure of the groundwater so much that it started flooding out everybody's basements in Vintondale. So the fix for that was to drive a boring rig out in the middle of the creek and bore 3 holes right down into the mine to let the water pressure out and act as a drain. And the locals call these holes the Three Sisters. Of course, that doesn't do a whole lot for the environment. It just takes care of the basement flooding. So big picture, just about a half a mile downstream from the bridge, there's a $27 million water treatment plant that's just being finished being built. And it should go into service around Thanksgiving of 2024. It'll cost $600,000 a year to run, and it'll process 7 million gallons of water a day. And essentially what they do is they add lime to neutralize the acid and a few other chemicals and a coagulant to take out some of the heavy stuff so that stuff can be carted to a landfill to try to clean up the creek downstream. Then as far as the Three Sisters go, they're going to install a pump in the mine and hard pipe the Vintondale number 6 mine down to the water treatment plant so it no longer discharges into the creek. And they're actually going to use the Vintondale number 6 mine as a receptacle to drain another mine to it. So there'll be a daisy chain of a couple mines and basically then pump down to the water treatment plant. And the whole history of this area is probably enough to make a 2-hour documentary out of, but that's not what we're here to do today. I'll leave that to somebody else. That's probably more than you ever wanted to know about the coal mine and situation in Vintondale and the Blacklick Creek. Hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye.